So we possibly go to the best episode of season 3 to possibly the worst episode of season 3. Hello everyone, Diego Cuevas here, and today I'm going to be finishing up my reviews of Black Mirror season 3 of episodes 3 and 4. So in episodes 3 and 4 we have Shut Up and Dance, episode 3, and then episode 4 is San Junipero. I'm going to start off with the best one. I believe I'm putting this down right now. The best episode of Black Mirror has ever made. Shut Up and Dance. Okay, so Shut Up and Dance, if you do not know, it's the third episode of Black Mirror in season 3. It's directed by James Watkins, who's a great director. He comes from film. He directed Eden Lake, which is a real challenging, very intensely horror film starring Kelly Reilly, who I really enjoy. She was in the Sherlock Holmes movies. She was in Calvary, I believe, with Brendan Gleeson, father of Donna Gleeson. She was really good in a lot of films. I really like her a lot. She was even in the trilogy, the Apartment trilogy, Chinese Doll, Russian Doll, those movies where, you know, the guy or whatever the fuck. She's really good. Like, but Michael Fassbender's also in Eden Lake. Jack O'Connell's also in Eden Lake. That's a great cast. He also did direct The Woman in Black, which I really enjoyed too, with Daniel Radcliffe. And then he did, which I feel like came out this year, Bastille Day. But then they kind of renamed it to make it more affordable for, American audiences, called The Take. Terrible ass title. Because if you think about it, it doesn't really make sense. I think Bastille Day is a better title for that movie. But it's also Idris Elba, John Madden from Game of Thrones, which I know a lot of people love, and Charlotte Balit, I believe that's her name. She's a French actress who was in The Walk from last year. She's a great actress. I like her a lot, and she's really good in it. It's a badass action film. But his Black Mirror episode is possibly the best one I've seen. So what is the story about? So I'm looking at the notes right here. Alex Lothar is this teenage boy who's from Britain. Again, this is all British cast. Again, the reason why I love this so much is because it harkens back to what's made Black Mirror so great. All British cast, check. An interesting drama that doesn't feel like the science fiction aspect of it is not overcoming, the story, check. It feels very real and very realistic. That's why I love it so much. And the story is, like I said, Kenny is this kid. He, just a regular teenager. He has a hard-nosed job. His boss, kind of gives him, a little, easy, like, hey, Kenny has a gun, a little here, there. He goes home. His sister gives him a hard time, but, he's not a dick about it. He's not like, give me my effing computer. He's not, just like, just give me back my computer. Just leave me alone. Like, all that stuff. He's a nice brother, I would say. Sure, let your sister just use your computer, man. Like, seriously, it doesn't hurt. But he's very about his privacy. Oh, I get why he doesn't want to use the computer now, hopping back to it. But anyway, so in the midst of everything, he thinks he's alone, he's fine and everything. So he goes on the interweb and he does some things that people would not want to look at. Okay, all I'm saying is he does some things that nobody else would want to see. And again, it's like that whole entire idea of, okay, he's a guy, he's a teenage boy, he doesn't have a lot of friends, he doesn't have a girlfriend. I can get behind that because, again, it's all like what goes on with those people's lives, that's their lives. But, and this is why I have this on my iPad, because I don't want no effort. I've seen Snowden, I've seen Mr. Robot, I've seen a lot of, television shows, movies that do the same thing. And, okay, I may be a little bit more paranoid than most things. I know this thing cannot possibly be that, but can't be everything be safe. But this is absolutely one of the most funnest ideas because I can think of. Because then he gets a text, or he gets an email from his computer saying, "We know what you did. We have you on video." And they show him the video, and he looks at the video. It's like, "Oh my God!" And they're all like, "We're gonna show you to everybody you have on your contacts if you do these instructions." He's all like, "I'm gonna do anything." But the actor is really good. Props to Alex Lothar, who's really good in that scene though, because once he gets that email, and it says, you're going to do these instructions, or else we're going to send this video to everybody in your contacts. He has a real emotional scene where he's very conflicted. He's all like, oh my God, because again, he feels humiliated. He feels like he's been caught, again. And again, you're probably saying, teenage boys, that's what they do. But again, you don't want that to get out to people. And you see that in his eyes. I mean, this dude, like, he really does not want this to get out there to people, and I don't blame him too. And the dude's a great actor, and he really is too. And again, he probably has some hot chicks on his phone as his contacts. They don't want to. Those hot chicks want to be like, you know what? I really like Kenny. Oh, swipe. Oh, what the hell is that? Again, you do not want that. And it's like, Yeah, if I was Kenny, I would kind of do the same. This thing is going to a dramatic, turn event, because this is not only happening to him. This is happening to a loads of other people that are having their own conflicts between each other. So then he gets a lot of, texts and emails about saying, go to this place, go to this location, pick up this item, take it to this place. It is like that for most of it, but it's just so fun. This episode moves so quickly. This is a great thing. The great dynamic of this is that he meets another person who's also being blackmailed against as well. I'm not going to go into explanation about why he's getting blackmailed, but Jerome Flynn, if you know, again, another Game of Thrones actor, he's really good. So they kind of team up together. They're all like, okay. It kind of sounds like nerve a little bit, but like, okay, the thing is asking us to team up. We have to go to this place. You have to take me there, and this thing is badass. Then it turns into like a real interesting look about what kind of human beings we are. I mean, that's the great thing about Black Mirror. They add social context into this whole entire, fiction story. This is not even science fiction. I mean, I know this cyber hacking thing I can kind of understand that this can never happen. But this thing feels so real that even paranoid people like myself, who are so paranoid about these things, will even believe it. Like, seriously, if you thought Mr. Robot wasn't enough for you to be like, I'm not scared of no gosh damn internet, please watch this, because this will automatically make you go like, I'm taping everything. I'm putting my phone in the goddamn microwave. I'm turning anything with a webcam. Because seriously, this thing is haunting. And I really, really love the ending. I think the ending is perfect. I know some people may be like, what's the point of all that then? The point is don't do shit that you don't want anybody else to know. And I think it's a very entertaining episode. This might be my favorite. I love this one so much. This is a really good one. This is a high 10 for me. I mean, really, this is amazing. Now, okay, let's get, hello, yeah. Now, oh my God. Okay, so let's get into episode 4, San Junipero. I think that's how you say it. Junipero. I'm terrible. Because I hate this. I don't hate it, but I didn't find any point to this one. So you have Mackenzie Davis, who was in The Martian, which I didn't like her in The Martian either. And she was in this great independent movie called Bad Turns Worse, which I didn't like her in that either, because she kind of was all like, I'm two-timing you, and then she's all like, oh, I'm gonna two-time him, but then I'm gonna have sex with your best friend, and it's all like, kind of a bitch. Anyway. But also, this is the one I was most excited for because it starred Gugu Mbatha-Raw. And if anybody who knows Gugu Mbatha-Raw, she was in Belle, a brilliant movie. She was really, really good in Beyond the Lights. I really like her a lot. Nate Parker, too, was also in that. Look at where he turned out. But anyway, she was really good. I love her a lot. She's going to be in the new Star Wars movie, too. Which I'm hoping. Because I hope she be in the main trilogy. Not in the spin-offs. Because, keep that for Felicity Jones or Tatiana Maslany. Get Gugu Mbatha-Raw in the main trilogy. Do it. But anyway, again, like I said, I was really looking forward to this one. Even with Mackenzie Davis, because again, she's been up for a lot of roles. She might be Domino in the next Deadpool movie, which I'm all for that, because I do think she has it in her wheelhouse to be a good actress. But my God, she's terrible in this. I did not like this one at all. I did not like any of this 1 minute. Okay, so this whole entire story, it takes place in, well, that's the thing. Okay, I'm just going to say how it opens up. I'm just going to give you the first 10-minute synopsis, and then I'm going to go into a spoiler. So the first 10-minute synopsis. Okay, so again, like I said, you follow Mackenzie Davis. She goes into this nightclub. It's very 80s-esque, 80s hair, 80s jackets, 80s style. It's all that stuff. 80s music, all that stuff, all that good jazz. And it's a cute location. I didn't look it up, but she goes to this nightclub, and she sees there a bunch of people. She's all like, nobody I'm really interested in. They're looking around. She's all like, okay. And then she sees Gugu Mbatha-Raw, and she kind of like flirts with her. She's all like, hey, do you want to dance? Do you want to drink? Do you want to do all this? And you go like, okay, it's great. Lesbians. Let's get to it. And they pass the Victor test too. Great. I love that. I love when they pass the Victor test. And anything really. You have these two females that have names. They are talking a lot of other things than just men. I love that. I love it. But then it goes beyond the 10-minute mark. So that's where I'm going to put up the spoiler mark. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. And then it goes into this title card that says 1 week later. And you go, okay. And then they show the same thing, that she goes into the nightclub, and then she sees Gugu Mbatha-Raw back there. She talking to her. Like I said, having a regular conversation, being, females, liking one another, and then they do it. And you're all like, okay. And then you get the sense of that, okay, they're kind of talking like, time's up. And you're like, wait a second, what do you mean time's up? And then it says 12 a.m. And then another title card comes up and it says 1 week later. And you go like, okay, is this kind of like, I was thinking in my head this might be like Groundhog Day, where they replay the whole day again, but the people know that the day is being overplayed because they can remember the people who they're with, and it just keeps happening in the reformant time and time again. No, it's not like that at all. What it is these people who, are near death, like, really old or in a coma or something like that. They can be able to, I don't even know if it's just old people. It could be people who just don't want to live anymore, who are middle-aged, and they just want to be in, because again, it's this plant that goes in your head, and you can basically go into this world that has been created, that either be the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. It's just all this time lapse. It's not a time travel movie because you can't reinvigorate the past. You're basically creating your own world. And I like that. I like that a lot. And I like how they commune it with this emotional story between these two women. My problem is the characters. Gugu Mbatha-Raw is a great actress. Like I said, she's really good. Her character in this, though, is really emotional. And she's really, really broken down. And again, spoiler, like I said, she has a husband who died. And she's old, and you see her. She's a very old woman. It sounds mean, but she died at the age of 76. Again, spoiler. So you get the sense that, okay, yeah, these people, have a time limit. Like any minute now, I can go, but I can go into eternity with somebody I love. Her husband chose not to do that. He chose to be with his daughter, and she believes that, what am I going to do? I'm all alone. But Mackenzie Davis, on the other hand, she was just in a coma because her parents got in a fight with her because she came out of the closet. She's like, listen, parents, I'm gay. Her parents are all, I don't know what to say. They're all like, old-fashioned, all that stuff. They're all like, oh, we're never gonna have a daughter who's gay. And then she got all mad that she drove off, hit or whatever the hell. She hit something, and then she went into coma. But then she had the opportunity to do the whole entire procedure. What happens in the procedure? You can only live in 1 day. If but when you're dead, you can live in through eternity. But only when you're alive, you can only spend in the day. Again, Black Mirror is great because they don't over-explain a lot of things. They could have over-explained. They could have been like, the only reason why you can only do 1 day is because your brain doesn't function all the way to do a whole 7 days. Or we don't have the technology for you to be alive to last enough 7 days. Or, again, something like that. They don't explain it, which I'm fine with. Black Mirror does not need to explain everything. I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. But lack of information in the beginning, I think, between the two characters are a huge flaw in this, because you have to rely on that second half to make you feel that real gut punch. And I feel like that's where it fails, because Mackenzie Davis, my God, her character is despicable in this. Like, seriously, she is selfish, self-righteous. She is just an awful human being. Like I said, she's in this coma, right? She's going to marry this nurse, who's right next to her, who's been watching over her. Things like Paul or Greg or something. And then he, again, she even tells Gugu Mbatha-Raw, he's a nice guy, my parents don't approve of him, but I like him. And she's all like, so you're still gonna get married to him? After we just had sex? After you tell me you love me? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm still gonna get married to him. And then Gugu Mbatha-Raw is all like, what? But then she gets on her knees and then proposes to her, and then they get married, and then Greg or Josh, whatever the fuck his name is, the nurse, he's all cool with it. He's like, hey, she's a lesbian. What can I do? I don't gotta, I can't do anything about it. But he's okay with it, so I understand that too. So Gugu Mbatha-Raw's character is still alive. She's like 76, like I said, she's still alive at that time. But Mackenzie Davis, she's in the coma. She's all like, just pull the plug. I'm dying. I'm going to transfer over full-time. You can do whatever you want to me. I want to live in this world in eternity, in this world that I've created. Or they don't really explain it either, because when you go into San Junipero, whatever the place is called, you do have this opportunity to jump decades. But the same people kind of show up in the same decade, where I go like, do they go at the same rate, or does everybody have to go at the same exact time to that same exact decade? Or is it, and again, it doesn't make sense, because how does one person know to go to the 80s when the other person is going to the 90s? And how does that one in the 2000s, know that that other one's going? Again, it's just something that I was thinking during the time, because I wasn't invested with the characters. And while that was happening, the whole entire time, Mackenzie Davis and Gugu Mbatha-Raw, you know, they're all like, you know, we're happy now, we're married, you know, we're gonna live in eternity, and she can only spend that one day out of the week. And Mackenzie Davis gets upset because she's all like, just spend the rest of your life here with me. Just tell me you want to come over. Gugu Mbatha-Raw is all like, well, slow down. Like, I have a life on the other side of the world. I'm still living. The whole entire time they were talking like that, I just kept thinking, yeah, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, you are right. Mackenzie Davis, you are just selfish. And because she's all like, oh, it's easy. All you gotta do is just come over. You can spend the rest of your life with me. But no, but like Gugu Mbatha-Raw is all like, I can't just like completely say, hey, like I'm done with the world. I have no friend. Again, she's all like, no. On the other side, I have like people. I can't just like be like, hey, bye, but I'm gonna go to the other side with my wife. It's like no. Plus, they don't even know each other. Well, that's one other thing that doesn't make any sense because she's all like, we known each other for like 3 days. I was married to somebody who I was married to for 47 years. That was commitment right there. I can't just be like, yeah, commit. But then I kept thinking, why the F did you get married in the first place then? And like, it's just a big thing that I got a big problem of. You can't hurt yourself in that world, which kind of is an interesting thing because she, you know, punches a mirror. She looks at her hand, she's not bleeding. She jumps through a freaking windshield. She doesn't get hurt. I'm all like, that's a cool concept. You know, you can't get hurt into that world, which makes sense. But the whole entire time, I was completely bored by it. I was hugely disappointed with it. I really do like Gugu Mbatha-Raw as an actress. Again, like I said, she's a great actress, but this one was just disappointing, man. I was like, God damn. I was really disappointed in this one. Thank you, everybody, for watching. My name's Epoisode. Sorry I went on for a little bit too long. I just had to, you know, go on. So, yeah. I was going to say another thing. Oh, yeah. So thank you, everybody, for watching. That was my 2 reviews of episodes 3 and 4 of season 3 of Black Mirror, Shut Up and Dance, and San Junipero. Whatever the fuck you call it. Again, have a great day. Check out my channel. Click the like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'll be back to you guys. And have a good rest of your day, guys. Goodbye. See ya.